We are now ready to move on to the next part of our session, the report from the 2021-2024 Triennium, which will look back over the past 3 years of incredible achievements and milestones of our work. The report of the World Triennial Plan has already been shared with member organizations through the Scout Park. To inspire and help us reflect on the achievements of the past triennium, we are pleased to welcome Andy Chapman, Chairperson of the World Scout Committee, whose address will be followed by a report from the youth advisors to the World Scout Committee. Andy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, chairs, distinguished guests, friends in scouting, and my fellow scouts. It's my great honor and privilege to be here with you in person at this incredible event and to welcome the many participants who are joining us online from all around the world. For more than a century, the World Scout Conference has been a gathering place for Scouting's leadership to come together, to celebrate the shared values and spirit of Scouting, and to take decisions that will shape the future of this entire movement. As I reflect on my time as chairperson of the World Scout Committee and look back on the past 3 years, it's safe to say this has been a truly unique and remarkable triennium in so many ways. Together, we have shown great strength and unity as a movement to overcome the impacts of a global pandemic while also advancing an agenda that will usher in the next decade of Scouting. I am incredibly proud and inspired by everything that we have accomplished. You'll just give me one moment. One of our most important aims was to support national scout organizations with membership expansion and retention efforts to focus on those hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. We achieved the largest growth period in the history of World Scouting, reaching a record number of 57 million scouts and millions of beneficiaries impacted by our movement. We saw a full membership recovery across all of our regions from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and supported national scout organizations to re-engage young people and volunteers in scouting. We reached a major milestone with 17 million girls and women now involved in scouting, the highest membership of girls and women ever in our history. And we expanded scouting to new countries, welcoming 4 new member organizations we saw earlier today: Antigua and Barbuda, Congo, Mali, and just yesterday, we welcomed our 176th member, Albania, to the Scout movement. Let's welcome them once again. As a way to better understand the demographics of our movement, we also completed an extensive research on diversity and inclusion, identifying areas for improvement to become more diverse and inclusive as a movement for the future, and making this area one of the key pillars of our new strategy for Scouting. This triennium, we engaged over 450 volunteers and implemented 29 projects connected to the World Triennial Plan, with an estimated 90% of the key performance indicators, or as we call them, KPIs, that we achieved. And the entire World Scout Committee is really proud of this achievement that we did together. We continue to strengthen the capacity of NSOs with the delivery of more than 420 services this triennium. That accounted for 50,000 hours of service delivered since we launched the WASM services, and we do this to support the growth and development of our member organizations. We supported and delivered more than 400 events and trainings, seminars, conferences at the regional and the world levels of scouting, and upgraded the digital experience of all of our events. And we added new resources, policies, and e-learning courses into our Learning Zone library to support NSOs, and launched a new cutting-edge service to enable member organizations to measure the social impact of scouting in their countries. We published key educational resources and tools and supported 115 National Scout organizations to review and modernize their youth program. And we launched 2 new educational initiatives, Health Allies and Life Leaders for NSOs, to incorporate education for sustainable development alongside their youth program. An upgraded version of the Scouts for SDGs Hub now brings World Scouting's educational initiatives together in one online place with educational activities for young people and for adult leaders. Our global support assessment tool, or as we all know it as GSAT, went through a major upgrade, and we supported 132 NSOs with the induction of their board of directors and by implementing the best practices that we have established in good governance. Next, and certainly not least, we also made child and youth safety one of our highest priorities this triennium by implementing a comprehensive process to ensure full compliance of all NSOs with the highest standards of safe from harm. To support this effort, making scouting events safer, we developed an assessment and reporting tools. We conducted regional panels and delivered services to NSOs specific in this area. Another key priority for us this triennium was sustainability. We upgraded World Scouting's sustainability practices and initiatives and developed the organization's first climate impact strategy to guide us toward becoming carbon neutral by the next decade. We made the promotion of youth leadership a key focus, and we expanded international leadership training, or as many of us call it, ILT, the program across more regions to engage and upskill young leaders in scouting worldwide. We're really proud of this accomplishment. This triennium, we managed our finances prudently by completing 3 financial years with 3 balanced budgets, really showing the good governance that we exemplify on the World Scout Committee. We strengthened our financial policies and practices, and we reduced the number of external audit observations to a record low. And we enhanced our registration fee system, as you all know, by proposing a 5% increase to the organization to help us mitigate the negative impacts that we are all experiencing for inflation. This triennium, however, was not without challenges that we all faced. We saw National Scout organizations rally in support in the aftermath of environmental disasters, of conflicts, humanitarian crisis situations, to support young people and the communities that they serve. Recognizing the urgency of this area, we expanded support through our Humanitarian Action Service and mobilized financial and technical assistance for member organizations that were in need of this type of support. We supported the transition of the Eurasia Scout region to ensure a better experience for our members in Eurasia. This included the successful transition of those NSOs to the Asia Pacific region and to the European Scout region. And we managed through and learned from the most challenging World Scout Jamboree in our recent history. We commissioned an independent review of the event and built on the learnings by developing an advanced WASM strategy to enhance the planning, delivery, and oversight of future World Scout events. I know we'll be discussing this in much more detail later in the conference. We reimagined this World Scout Conference to ensure a more engaging and intergenerational dialogue experience for all of us here in the room and everyone who's joining us online. In December, we convened the 4th World Scout Education Congress in Paris and adopted a roadmap for the future of education in Scouting that will pay many dividends down the road. We innovated the experience of our digital jamboree, Jota Jotai, Jamboree on the air, Jamboree on the internet, reaching the largest number of participants and integrating the Scout Pass as a new way for Scouts to earn and share digital passes through this event. We redeveloped our mainscout.org website. We launched the Treehouse as a new online community for member organizations, and we upgraded the Scout donation platform, making it easier than ever for NSOs to access the information and resources that they need to be up to date. We expanded our efforts to tell the story of Scouting's impact around the world by engaging ambassadors, influencers, and young content creators across the region. We also continued our digital transformation efforts in the Bureau to adopt the latest technologies and introduce solutions that will ready us for the future of work. In this triennium, as I'm sure you're aware from looking around the room, we completed the most significant refresh of the World Scouting brand in nearly 20 years to make it more appealing to young people as we continue to position us as the world's leading educational movement. And we used our voice to influence the positive change in the world. And a team of world and regional youth representatives engaged in regional and international events to represent our movement at most every global convening around the world. We developed our first ever business development and resource mobilization strategy while successfully unlocking new resources and strengthening our collaboration with our wonderful friends at the World Scout Foundation. And we expanded our network of partners to 20 key institutional organizations and donors. And together, again with the World Scout Foundation, we secured more than $13 million in additional funding to support all of you, our member organizations. Thank you, everyone, for your support with those efforts. And last, but certainly not least, we readied our movement for the next decade ahead through the development of an ambitious vision and a strategy for Scouting, backed by a solid research and the unprecedented engagement of young people, adults, partners, and all of you, the leadership of our National Scout Organization. And I know we'll have many opportunities to discuss this further at the conference as well. So, this triennium has been a remarkable one, with these and many more highlights for all of us to celebrate together. But I also want to take a moment to thank and to recognize the many World Scout Bureau staff, volunteers, WASM consultants, GSAT and Safe from Harm assessors, and the other contributors who made all of this work possible. Let's give them a round of applause. Also want to thank our other volunteers that include those who are part of the steering, the finance, the audit, the constitutions, the honors and awards, and the ethics committee. Thank you so much for your service to support the governance of the World Scout Committee. Thank you. I also want to recognize the working groups of the World Scout Committee, the working groups that focused on our continuous improvement, our fee system, and the transition of the Eurasia Scout region. Thank you so much. And also to the hundreds of volunteers who were involved in the operational framework to deliver the objectives of our World Triennial Plan. Thank you, Team Purple, for your incredible dedication, innovation, and energy to deliver on this triennial plan. Thank you so much. So as you may have seen online, we have just announced a new open call for the next triennium. And I encourage all of you to help spread the word, to help attract new talent and new volunteers that will help carry out our collective work forward for the next triennium. And if you haven't seen it, just look at all of our social media accounts and hit the share button, please. And now, without further ado, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage the youth advisors to the World Scout Committee to present their report on the past triennium. Please join me in welcoming the youth advisors to the stage. Good luck.
Thank you for that introduction, Andy. And hello, conference. We are happy to be here with you today. Wasn't it amazing to see the many accomplishments over the past 3 years for our movement? And guess what? They were in direct response to so many important topics for young people, like youth innovation, environmental sustainability, and social impact. Hey, Fatima, what do you have over there?
This is our youth advisory report. And as you can see, we've had a very busy 3 years. From being involved in the operational framework, participating in standing committees, co-chairing task forces, and more, we work to always ensure that the voices of young people are always heard in our decision-making processes. So, Lamin, what's in this report?
Well, Fatima, our team didn't work solo because the entire World Scout Committee has been dedicated to responding to the action plan agreed upon by our young leader in 2021 at the 40th World Scout Youth Forum. This is why our contribution have been taken in account. And Alassane, don't you have a big question for us?
Oh, the question. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, so what happens now? As you all know, this time there is no World Scout Youth Forum, and also the World Scout Committee has decided to discontinue the Youth Advisory System. So yes, there will no longer be youth advisors to the World Scout Committee, but we're eager to increase the number of young people as voting members in our decision making. So, Melissa, can you tell us more about this?
Yes, of course. So, this decision was taken following an extensive research and consultation with our movement to better understand structural barriers for youth engagement in decision making and also to propose alternative measures to overcome them. Because of this, we have realized that at every level of our organization, we must change our perspectives and do more to further support young people in decision making. Lisa, what are some things that we have done in the world level?
We have done many, Melissa, haven't we? Yes. We've been championing in many things for the youth leadership. So some of the examples that we can share would be that we have shared new training courses for the potential World Scout Committee candidates, and also the development of the youth leadership resources for the NSOs, and providing financial incentives for the young people so that they have more opportunities to join in the World Scout Conference. And guess what? We're already seeing a great progress. Look around you. 30% of our conference today are under 30. Can we give great round of applause for this? But because we always strive for continuous improvement, don't we have a lot more to progress, Reese?
Indeed, we need everyone on board. As member organizations, you play a key role in preparing young people and making spaces for them to be an active part of decision making. Be supportive so young people can be a part of decision-making boards, and offer capacity building opportunities, mentorship programs, review your youth involvement policies, and overall, be sure to practice intergenerational collaboration.
Yeah.
And as we explore the way forward together, we carry a profound desire to achieve even more. Our goal is not just to engage youth, but to empower them as leaders, guiding World Scouting towards new horizons. It's about embracing youth leadership and supporting the mutual exchange of intergenerational knowledge.